Hello guys, welcome to a short session on writing a business plan. My name is Zaheer Siddiqui, a business and leadership trainer. In addition to training and development, I'm serving business industry for over 25 years. You can find some information about myself in the handouts or in the video description. Today, we are going to talk about writing a successful business plan. I came across many people in the past complaining about declines or collapses of their businesses, and most of them had one common problem, that is, running a business without a business plan. So, what is business plan? In a very simple words, a business plan is a document which gives your business direction, defines your objectives, maps out strategies to achieve your goals, and helps you to know more about your own business and competitors. Please remember, this is one of the most crucial documents a business can have. For your convenience, I have pulled apart a business plan template, which you can use to write a plan for your own business. Now, let's talk about what is included in this, in a business plan. In addition to executive summary, we should have few components in this plan, which we are going to discuss in next few minutes. The first set of information includes foundation details, something like structure, that what is your business structure. This could be sole trader, it could be something like partnership, or it could be a company. Establishment date, registration number, and contact details, and your social media details that will usually include your Facebook business account, Twitter account, and could be some other platform accounts. Next bit is your business summary. In this block, we usually summarize the history of your business and how the idea actually developed. What are your business core values and what are you broadly looking to achieve? We need to we need to outline our own or your own previous experience in the sector and especially in management of the business. Next component we have is business goals and objectives. Please remember, whenever we talk about these goals, they need to be SMART goals. When we say SMART, as you know, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. And as we can see on this slide, we can divide them in two separate sections: short-term goals, long-term goals. Short-term goals could be something spanning over 1 year time, and long-term could be a little bit longer, 2 years, 3 years. In some cases, they might be for 5 years. And we also define what will be the actions required to actually achieve those goals or objectives. What will be our deadlines and who will be responsible to achieve or to work towards achievement of those goals. This could be your name or it could be someone else's name. You will make that decision. Next bit we have is current business position. In this block, we define which stage of the business life cycle are your business and industry sector currently in: emerging, growing, maturing, or declining. Are you expanding, consolidating, or preparing to sell? What is the status? So we need to talk about it. Next component we have the organizational structure. This is the place where you will define your structure, most preferably, it should be in a flowchart format. That who is the CEO, who are the directors, who is the operations manager, and so on and so forth. Then we define our key staff, advisors and mentors, who is doing what are their skills, why you think that this person is suitable for this particular organization. We need to put it in writing. Next bit, as we can see, is more about the products and services. When we say products and services, you need to actually write down every single product and service which you are going to offer. So for example, if you are going to start a takeaway business, you need to define that, which type of products you will be selling. If you are planning to sell, for example, in a takeaway, you are talking about just sandwiches, talk about which type of sandwiches, how many types you will be serving, what will be included in those ones. So you need to explain them. Next bit comes in distribution. When we say distribution, we need to specify, do you sell direct or through a wholesaler? Do you sell by retail store, phone, or a website? Do you use salespeople, agents, or distributors? We need to talk about it here. Pricing. How do you price your products and services? You can't just say that, okay, let's sell my sandwich for $5. The question arises, why $5? Why not $4.50? Why not $5.50? Why not $10? So we need to explain these factors. We also need to talk about what is your profit margin and how have you set it. Are your customers price sensitive? Explain everything in this section. Next bit is, as we can see, is about future growth. How do you plan to increase your business capabilities and capacity? Why are you confident this growth will be sustainable? Talk about it. Next bit we have is payment. What are your payment terms? How do customers pay you? What strategies, processes, systems, and people do you have in place to facilitate this? What does it cost you? Talk about it. Next one we have is production. How will you produce these products or services? Explain them. Please keep in mind when you are structuring this table, do not just end up having one sentence each. This needs to be in full detail. Once this table is completed or this information has been furnished, we jump on to the next bit, and that is our key suppliers and customers. When we say key suppliers and customers, key suppliers are, well, obviously understandable. Well, let's talk about customers. Key customers. For some businesses, this could be just the general public. And for some businesses, that could be corporate customers. We need to specify them, what we have now and what we are expecting. What type of terms we will be offering them? We are talking about payment terms. Why they are critical to us and how risk of loss is going to be managed. What happens, for example, one of your key customer who is buying 60% of your product, just in case if you lose that customer, what's going to happen to your business? So we are basically talking about risk management. So we put together a little bit of information here. And in addition to this little bit information, we always prepare risk management plan, which is a well-detailed plan. We will talk about this risk management plan in another video. Next one, we talk about business assets. The first one comes in the premises. What type of premises we have, or how many premises we have, whether we have purchased them or whether they are on lease. If we have purchased them, how much money we have actually paid for it. If we have leased them, what are the lease rights, conditions, options, or any security bonds you have paid for them. We need to put together all this information in this table. Next one, we have a little bit more details on assets and equipment. When we say asset and equipment, we are basically talking about, well, literally everything. That could be your motor vehicle, that could be your plant, your computer equipment, could be anything. You need to talk about it. You need to put the dates, purchasing dates or leasing dates, the prices. If it's lease or finance, you need to put the relevant information in here, current usage level and expected replacement date. We need to furnish this information here. Next one we have is stock and inventory. For some businesses, you may not need it, but in most cases, you may have some information available, so you need to put together. In this block, what we usually say, what is your production capacity and how much do you currently produce? What is your stock turnover? How do you store inventory? And what does this cost? What are your future volume predictions? Once this block is completed, we jump on to the next one, which is intellectual property. In intellectual property, as we can see in this table, we specify which intellectual property needs to be protected, type of protection, protection end date, and then when we are saying protection, what will be geographical coverage for that protection, whether that will be just, for example, if you're operating in Australia, so whether you are going to, you get the copyrights for just within Australia, or it needs to be worldwide, depending on your circumstances, obviously, and what type of conditions we will be looking into. So we need to furnish this information. Next bit, we will be talking about the organizational resources. When we say organizational resources, the first one comes in people. How many people you need, for which department, in which section, then areas for development, and how they will be developed and retrained. We are talking about staff. So when we say, for example, I would say I will need 5 customer service staff members. Okay, that's fine. So what type of development they may need, what type of skills these people will need. Each and every business may need some specific skills. You need to specify them here. And you also need to specify what are your plans to actually upskill your staff, how you will be providing them training and development opportunities. Next bit we have is money, financial resources. When we say financial resources, we need to talk about something like, do you have financial resources to meet your objectives or take advantage of opportunities? What facilities do you have in place for this? And you need to specify. Next one is e-commerce and technology, depending on type of business you are in. How do you plan to use e-commerce and technology to help your business? How will you use it to lower the costs, speed up your business, access new markets, or increase the sales? Will you sell products or services online? Or probably not. It depends, as I just said. For each business, this may vary significantly. So, however, having said that, it's always good to consider that how you can take benefit from emerging technologies. Next bit is more about your data and customer information. How do you collect, store, and use customer and stock information? Do you back this information up? How do you do this and how often? How long do you store data for and is it really secure? Talk about it here. And also please keep in mind when we talk about data and when it comes to customer information, many legislations kick in. So please be very mindful. And as I explained before, whenever we talk about risks, we always prepare a risk management plan. So when we say risk management plan, this is how a very high level type of risk management plan looks like. So as we can see, here we have three columns. Risk, we specify what are the risks which we can think of. Then we specify their impact if it occurs. High risk, medium risk, or a low risk. And then how we are going to manage it if that happens. When we talk about risk management, please keep in mind when you get up to this block, take your time. Keep thinking. Keep thinking every single aspect of your business. Put together a long list of risks. That could be 50 risks, could be 100 risks, could be 200 risks. Does not really matter. You should have full list of risks. This truly gonna help you. Do not skip this step and do not undermine this step. Take your time. It's advisable to have discussions with your friends, with your relatives, with your other stakeholders. Talk about risks, any type of risk which they can think of about your business. Put it together. And then where it comes, this last column where it says how it's managed, this is crucial. Very important. Pay extra attention that how this risk gonna be managed. Needs to be realistic though. Once this part is done, then we can comfortably jump onto succession planning. When we say succession planning, what does that mean? Succession planning, if something happened to you, for example, or you didn't want to run your business anymore, what would happen to it? Who would take over? Or who will buy it? How would you manage this process? And how would you ensure your business continued to operate? Have you formally documented your plans? If not, this is the place to do it. And as I mentioned before, when I was talking about data and customer information, I briefly mentioned that there are many laws applicable. And there are many other laws applicable when you are running any type of business in Australia or in any other country. We need to research all those laws, regulatory and legal considerations which needs to be considered while you are operating a business or running a business. Research them and list them. Try to understand them and try to understand how they are actually impacting your business. If you can't do it, hire someone who could assist you or provide you a little bit of consultation on it. But this is your primary responsibility to understand the legal requirements of that country. Next one is insurances. Another Very crucial step. Always run a business with all applicable insurances. Do not risk it. So here you will define what type of insurances you may need and then what you have done to obtain them. If you have already obtained them, specify them. What is the start date? What is their expiry date? What are the premiums? So on and so forth. Next bit is marketing. When we say marketing, we are basically talking about market analysis and the strategies. So first block, as we can see, is about market research. In this block, we describe the current state of the market you are in or you are going to enter. How did you come to this finding? Where did you get that information? Is it really reliable information? What research have you done for this? And the methods you have used. Explain your findings in terms of market size and outlook. Be honest. If you are collecting information from internet, please keep in mind not everything is 100% true on internet. So do your thorough research. Next block, as we can see, is more about opportunities in the market. In this block, we usually write what is the market opportunity you have identified, and is anyone else likely to exploit this gap? Talk about it. Next one is, as we can see in this block, we define target market and the proposition. So first one, as we can see, is value proposition. In this block, we say, what do you stand for in the market? What are you offering? Do you have a unique selling point? If not, find one. Because if you don't have a USP, you're on risk. So find a USP or create a USP. Then start talking about it. Next bit is, who is your target market? This is very, very, very important to specify. Include demographics such as age, gender, geography, needs, wants, anything which you can think of. Specify them here. Then, as we can see, a couple of basic questions which needs to be answered, but you need to do thorough research before you answer them. What is the size and value of your target market? How did you arrive at these figures? What factors affect your target market's spending habits? Is your sector seasonal or price sensitive? What is your competitive edge? What are the reasons a customer would choose you over the competition? For example, one of my friend came to me and said that, oh, I'm going to start a butchery in a shopping center. Okay, that's fine, beautiful. So are you going to start a new venture or you are buying an existing one? He said, no, I'm buying an existing one. This business is already in place and it is in operation for last 7 years. Okay, so why butchery? Why you are considering to buy that business? Oh, because my partner is a licensed butcher back home and she's coming in next few months time and this is what we are planning to do. Okay, so how much money you are planning to spend? Oh, it's gonna cost us about $300,000. Okay, good. So why those people are, or the current owner is trying to sell the business? Oh, I don't know. They are selling it cheap. But why? We need to do a little bit of research. So when we spend a little bit of time had some physical visits, collected some more information, collected some thorough information after that, and we identified that there were in the same shopping center next to that butchery we have Coles, and the Woolworths is opening within next few months time, and we already have Aldi coming to that shopping center as well. Is this gonna make a big difference? Maybe yes, in a positive sense, or maybe yes, in a negative sense. So now we need to look into their current business operation, that what they are earning, what they were earning 5 years ago, what they were earning 7 years ago, what are their current expenses, and why these people are going away, why they are actually considering to sell it. So whenever you are trying to buy a business or start a business, please look everywhere, not just start answering just those questions which are just part of your business plan. No, it has to be a broad view. Okay, if I summarize of that scenario which I just gave you about a butchery, we spent a little bit of time, we collected information as I just said, and we ended up with a conclusion that those people were running in loss, which they were trying to hide by saying that, oh, that was a cash business, that was this, we didn't put it on the paper. And they were running away because the business was going in continuous loss for 2.5 years. And there was no such way to actually recover that. Or even if we changed the management, the situation wasn't really positive. Anyways, let's jump to the next one. As we can see, the next block is all about your customer management. Ask yourself the following questions relating to your target customers. Again, as I said before, be specific and realistic. And I would add another one, be honest to yourself. Number one, how do you acquire new customers? How many do you expect to acquire each year, or each day, or each month, or each week? Depends on your type of your business. And over the following years, obviously. Why is your customer service model effective? Why you think this gonna work? We really cannot say that I will distribute flyers and I will do it. I will distribute catalogs once in a month and I will get 200 customers. You need to be very honest and realistic while making up those numbers, because these are the numbers which gonna tell you that what gonna be your forecasted income. If those numbers are incorrect, you will be in trouble. So we need to be a little bit careful. How do you retain your most profitable customers? I would say, how do you retain all of your customers? How do you manage or move on customers you would prefer not to keep? So we need to have some strategies for them as well. Then another very important bit is your competitors. Never, ever miss them. Research them. Thorough research them. Find out what are their products and services relevant to you. What are their prices, their market share, how long they are in a business, what are their business structures, who are their target customers, what is their position in the market, what is point of differentiation, what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. Again, please keep in mind, be honest to yourself, be realistic, and be specific. If you make a mistake here with your competitors, you can be in a trouble. So please be very careful. Once you have done your competitor analysis, now is the time to do your own analysis. We call it as SWOT analysis, very common tool. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Again, be honest. Do not just write a sentence just to fill the boxes. No, be honest with yourself. This is your own business. This is your future. This is your own money. So be honest with yourself. And whenever we prepare a SWOT analysis, please keep in mind we also prepare an activity sheet. When we say an activity sheet, we basically address weaknesses and threats. And we sometimes also prepare a plan how to take benefit from opportunities. That activity sheet gonna help you a lot. Next bit is strategic direction. As it sounds like, as it reads like. Use your SWOT analysis, which we just talked about, to explain your choice of strategic direction. How do you plan to maximize your strengths and opportunities and minimize your weaknesses and threats? Include definite action points that show you have turned your analysis into a practical plan of action. The activity sheet which I just referred to gonna help you here. Then next one we have is your plan. Marketing, advertising, and promotion. In this table, ask yourself, how are customers going to buy from you? And find out about your product or services. We use this table to map out any recent or planned marketing activities. You can replace those headings which I have put together in this table, but most of them are usually applicable to most of the businesses anyway. And as we can see, I have listed advertising, letters, flyers, brochures, cold calling, warm calling, sponsorship, events, trade shows, media coverage, loyalty programs, websites, internet, and you may have 100 other methods. Then you need to define your objectives, key messages, what you are going to deliver during that campaign, or maybe in one of those methods, when you are going to do it, where you are going to do it, how much cost you may incur, and what type of return you will be expecting. Be honest. Once again, be honest while preparing these numbers. It's your own business. Next one is your financial analysis. The first one, as you can see, is funding sources. List all of the funding your business has received with details of amounts received and any debts still outstanding. Talk about them here. Next one, as we can read, is current financial position and past performance if you are already in the business. How has your business performed against key financial measures such as sales, revenue, cash flow, and profit growth? Maybe within last 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, depends that how long you are in a business. And if you are already in a business, it's always advisable to talk about the losses as well and the shortcomings. If it is a startup business, you are starting a brand new business, then you may have to prepare, you will need to prepare this setup costs sheet as well. I have put together some of those headings for your convenience, but it can grow. It depends on your type of business, obviously. What I have for you is like accounting fees, legal fees, business registration fees, insurance premiums, licenses, workers' compensation, and you name it. All of them are here. However, as I said before, you can expand that table depending on your circumstances, your country, your type of business. But this is just going to give you a little bit of idea that you need to prepare a sheet which could basically give you an idea that how much money you really need to start up that business. Next one we have is the forecasts, profit and loss forecasts. So when we say profit and loss, as you can see on the sheet, we have two main sections. The top one is about sales, how much money we are going to make, or what we are expecting to make. And next one is what will be our expenses, or what are our expenses. So please put them together for 12 months. If I'm doing it, I usually go for 3 years, just to be on safe side. For first 12 months, then the second year, then I also talk about the third year as well. Then the cash flow forecast, we talk about incoming cash sales, collections, cash receipts, outgoing fixed costs, administration, marketing, variable costs, and then the net results. After that, we prepare a balance sheet forecast. And as you can see, I have put together all of those basic accounts which you would need to put the information in for. So this is a quick overview of different components which you may need for a business plan. I have tried to consolidate them as quickly as possible, and hopefully I have covered everything which you may need to write a very good business plan. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate that. And I will be looking forward to see you in our next lecture or in the next video. Thank you very much once again.